Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we've had quite a few kits, cars and whatever on channel. Thought I'd get something a bit different. I've never seen one of these before, and it were a shiny box, and I'm kind of like a magpie. I'm like, ooh, shiny thing. But this is an ORCA 800 series brushed ESC. They're relatively cheap. It runs up to 80 amp. Does show you on box a programmer, so I'd be interested to see if it comes with everything in box. But let's bring in for a close-up look and see what we make of this little ORCA ESC. So, quite a bling box that it comes in. Doesn't really tell us any specs or anything on the outside of the box. We've just got a serial number and ORCA 800 series. Just brushed ESC 80 amp. So, let's see if we can get in this thing. So it does come in a really bling box, and then we have some really nice foam. And I suppose the that answers my first question: does it come with the speed controller programmer? So I guess that's a yes. So we do have a basic programmer, and it does have the actual legend on the back of it. A bit awkward to read the first bit because it's kind of printed through logo. But let's work our way through this for you. So item 1 is running mode. So we have forward brake reverse, forward brake and forward and reverse. Item 2 is battery type. So we've got LiPo, LIFE and NIM. Item 3 is low voltage cutoff. So we've got low, high, middle or disabled. Item 4 we have punch level. So we've got 5 different levels on that. Item 5 is PWM, so we've got 1K, 4K, 8, 12, 16 and 24. Item 6 is throttle compression, or throttle compress. Not really sure what that is, but we've got 0, 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30%. We've got item 7 is starting force, so 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18%. Maximum forward on item 8, number 8, we can have 25, 50, 75 or 100. Maximum reverse on item 9, we can have 25, 50, 75 or 100. So item 10, we have brake force. We've got 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90 and 100%. Item 11 is brake punch, and we've got 6 different levels of that. Item 12 is drag brake. We've got 0, 5, 10, 20, 40, 60, 80 and 100%. Item 13, initial brake force, so 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and 35%. And then item 14 is neutral range. We have 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90 and 105. So yeah, quite a featured little ESC this. Nice that it comes with programmer, so it's a good step up from just your basic ESC. But the main thing that I wanted this for is it just looks really, really neat. I really do like the design of it. You've got a whole aluminium case, and I'm guessing it's an aluminium top, but just with a sticker on it. The wires, you can just put whatever connectors you want on or solder them directly. This is not an ESC that I'm going to be swapping out all the time, so I'm more than likely just going to wire this in or maybe put some plugs on end so I can just put it onto the stock motor in the Avant. And it does come with an XT60, which I will be swapping out for a Dean's T connector, I believe, in the Avant. And you've got a nice little switch, switch it on and off. So let's have a look what else we get in box. So you get some nice ORCA stickers, and we do get the instructions. So let's see if we can find out what kind of spec we've got with this. So input voltage, we have 6 to 12.6 volts, so LiPo 2 to 3 cell. We've got a peak of 400 amp, continuous 80 amp, 540 size motor. BEC is 3 amp, 6 volts, so quite a decent BEC. It's got multiple protection systems and it is waterproof. Yellow is positive and blue is negative. Radio and ESC setup. So have your throttle travel on 100, your brake travel on 100, exponential to 0, your neutral trim to 0. Bind your receiver and transmitter first. Initial setup, you need to set the throttle and endpoints. It's automatic. So when you follow the operation to connect the electronics, you can switch on the ESC and start to run. So it will automatically set it, or manual. When the manual function is started, the automatic function will be permanently cancelled. So turn on the transmitter and hold the throttle at full brake position. Turn on your ESC and listen for 2 beeps. After you hear the 2 beeps, apply full throttle and listen for another 2 beeps. Once you hear 2 beeps, release the throttle to neutral. Beep will then sound, signifying that the ESC endpoints have been set correctly. If the car direction is reversed, please check the ESC positive and negative are rightly connected to the motor. This is, you can change your transmitter throttle direction setup and reverse your car's direction. So just checking for some of the voltages that were mentioned, because it just says you've got low, mid, high or disabled for your voltages on the cutoff. So if we're looking down it, low is 2.9 volts when set to LiPo, middle is 3.2 volt and high is 3.4 volt, disabled obviously off altogether. If you've got it set to LIFE, low is 2.2, mid is 2.5 and high is 2.8. If you've got it set to NIM, it looks like basically all of them, it'll just set to middle and it's 4 volt total cutoff. I will get you a picture of the actual table because it's nice to have a picture of it if you're thinking of getting one of these. But rather than go through instructions, let's have a poke about with it and see what it does. So we've got our ESC, we've got our connection, and looks like it goes with negative to the left. Then we need to get a battery, and it says it's fine on 3S, so we should just be able to turn it on. So it runs through. So if we start off on menu 1, out the box it's set on 3, which is forward and reverse. I'm going to change that to forward brake and reverse because we're not going to be racing this. Then if we press select, we'll drop to the next table, and that is the battery type. So we've got it on 1 LiPo, that's fine. As next one, voltage cutoff, I'm going to set it quite high. So I'm going to set it to number 3, which will be 3.4 volt. So number 4, default 3, I'm going to leave it on that. Number 5 is PWM frequency, the 8K, that should be fine. Number 6, which is throttle compress, that's set to 30% as standard, so I'll leave that where it is. Starting force 1%, that should be fine. Maximum forward force, number 4, 100%. Brake force, reverse force 50%, that'll be absolutely fine. Maximum brake is on menu 8, so that's fine. Punch level force, straight in middle, so that's fine. Drag brake, I'm probably going to drop that down to probably about 20%, which I think is 3. Let's just check. Drag brake, no, 4. So that'll be 20%. And then initial brake force, I'm going to leave at 0. And then neutral range, it's at 45, so that's fine. Then we press enter and it says send. Press enter again and it says SUCC. I'm guessing that's successful. So now we could power it off. And I'm not going to stick a motor on this yet, but let's see if we can quickly plug in a receiver. So that's a receiver all bound up. So we have it powered up. So the auto calibration should be getting a flashing light to a solid light when you get right to the end of your stroke. But if you want to make it calibrate, we can power it off. To do the auto calibration, you basically hold the brake all the way on, power up the ESC. When it detects full brake, you then go full throttle, wait for it to flash, let it go back to center, it'll flash again, and then to try it, it does seem, I would say it's calibrated exactly the same as the auto calibrate did, which is not a bad thing, but basically that's how you set it up, that's how you connect it, and that's how you program it. So it is a really cool, really nice little brushed ESC. So it's quite nice to have a bit of an alternative to all the Hobbywing 1060s and whatnot. It will cope with 80 amp, 400 max, really nice aluminium case, and really tidy wiring. They are quite generous with the length of cable, so it should fit in most cars. With the drag brake setting and everything on it, I think it would be also a really nice one for using in crawlers. And you don't have to have a cooling fan, anything like that. The whole thing's a heatsink. But hopefully you find that useful or entertaining, or just passes a bit of time listening to my incessant rambling. But let's wrap this one up. So there we have it, a really cool alternative to something like a Hobbywing 1060s or 1080s, something that's a bit different. Nice that it comes with programming. If you use XD60s, it comes with that already on. 2 to 3S, 80 amp constant, 400 amp peak. Really nice little brushed ESC. So this one is from MB Models, so big thanks to the guys up there. I will pop a link to their site and to this ESC in the description below. But thanks again for watching WTF Rc Cars. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.